What's up, guys, and welcome back to the lands of Alaire. Our party has just managed to enter the Chamber of the Everlasting Father, where they found their prior ally, Azelriak, a druid who Gilroy had freed from prisons in the Whispering Woods some weeks prior, who informed them of some mysterious powers that reside here, gave them a forewarning of cataclysmic events that have happened in Karadmoren and may be preparing to happen once more, and turned to stone in the process. So, our party is left with a long rest and a lot of questions.
Poor Zelriak. I quite liked him.
Of course you did.
Just gonna tap you on the shoulder, like.
It was a little creepy.
A little respect.
Yeah, Melee just popped out the map for a second. Don't worry about that.
It's that.
Whoop! So,
She got bored.
Erlon, you feel, though your wounds are bandaged and whatnot, you still actually need to press your blood against these invisible barriers, so presumably after you guys are at the ready, prepared to move forward, you
Just
may...
don't use Jar's knife.
And, yeah, as you press a bandaged hand up against this, leave some blood marked on there, you can hear the invisible rumbling of some, some invisible stone. And immediately, as you turn that corner out of the entrance chamber, there's an intense heat that blasts back your hair and causes your eyes to water for a moment. And the ground glows a low red. You approach a much larger cave-like space. So presumably Erlon, Leander, Melee, Gilroy, Jar, just like pretty much there.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Cool. Bring Erlon down for visual purposes first. And what you see is this great, huge, monstrous cavern filled with magma, and a crumbling bridge is before you that extends forward. And Erlon, what you hear as you make your way on forward is the grumbling of giant speech, probably fire giants, you presume, given the environment, and you hear one grumble out, Grolter Durum Bosnach! And essentially, child of Grolter, come face your doom.
I guess I just walked to the edge of the bridge and. Well, I'm right here.
Yeah, that'll be initiative. Always never real good on initiative.
My excuse is Leander didn't know what they were saying. So,
That is
Be
fair.
nice too. She should just be used to Erlon running open.
So that's a 12 on me, General Reeve, you are quite dead. Jar!
16.
16. Melee,
12.
12. Erlon,
20.
20. Leander,
4.
4. Gilroy,
12.
12. Giants, 11. So, Erlon, you charge forth. You can see, yeah, here, I'll move this guy so it's a little more visible. There's one over there. However, this room, this cavern is rather huge in size. The bridge before you is not in the greatest shape. In fact, it's almost soft as you step your feet upon it, and it feels as though it's due to crumble at any moment. These fire giants are walking along kind of the edge of this lava pool, which is a good 10 feet down per kind of layer there. However, that is no difficulty for a fire giant to scale, bringing themselves on up. So they are not necessarily out of range of fighting, even if they're below you.
Okay. So I'm actually. I just see that one?
Yeah, you can see that one, though you hear further down the way the clanging arrival of huge fire giant footsteps in this plate armor.
I'm gonna hold my action
Okay,
until he gets close, and then I'll
then you'll make your attacks.
make my attack.
Sounds good. And rage, too.
No, because it'll disappear.
That's true. Alright, Jar.
Oh. Jar's just gonna go invisible. He's gonna like just poof
And he's going to just stand back a little bit. Wait to see how things develop.
Sure. Gilroy.
Alright, how long is this bridge?
I mean, it extends maybe 50 feet out from where Erlon can see. With your night vision goggles, it goes dark before it ends.
What about the lava?
How far does the lava extend? Yeah, alright, that's fair. Okay, so yeah, you can see at the very end of this space through your goggles. It doesn't go much more than 40 more feet than there. So.
Okay. Alright.
What
And
about the lava?
And there's presumably fire giants in the lava.
In the lava, on the other sides, you can see some motion further to your right. You figure there's 4 or 5 in this room.
Okay. I will destroy the bridge.
Okay.
I'll cast Erupting Earth.
On the bridge?
Yeah.
How large is Erupting Earth?
It is 20-foot cube.
That's our bridge!
Don't worry about it,
Towards the
Leander.
middle of the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're probably closer to the side, so if you want it to fit in, you probably want to go.
I think he's just trying to cut him off.
So the bridge collapses in the middle, tumbling on down into the lava, which bubbles about. And though the rocks of the bridge and whatnot still seem to provide kind of a layer above the lava, it looks like it would be hot to run across.
Okay. That's my turn. The bridge crumbles as you hear Gilroy whisper an incantation. You had nothing to do with it.
Melee!
I missed my giant sling arrows.
That's true.
Really useful. Can I see that giant that Erlon can see from where I'm standing?
Yes.
Can I see? I'll use sharpshooter.
Sounds good. I see the problem now. Shar is weirdly inverted. He looks out the back of his.
Oh.
That's why there's that weird triangle.
He's got eyes in the
There's
back of
always
his head.
something weird.
Nowhere else.
Always something weird with Jar. There. That'll do. What'd you throw?
24
Yes.
for 20.
Okay. Doing that again.
Didn't move.
Boom.
Nat 20
Nice.
Man.
Crap.
for 24.
Okay. You nearly killed him. Looks like another shot like that will take him down. So yeah, you
I feel less bad.
hear Melee mutter out. You hear Melee mutter that she misses her giant slaying arrows, and she flings 2 arrows into the neck and in the chest of this fire giant who rears back into the lava, and that will bring us to him, and he will run on forth with these great bounding steps, climbing up to meet Bloodletter and Erlon's fury.
Yep, so just bring... Well, I call out to... I'll call out to Walter again.
Sure.
Let's throw him back down to the lava. And I will reckless attack. Great weapon fighting.
Yes.
14.
14 will hit. That is their AC.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
They're big.
Yeah, they're huge. Nice.
Max damage on that, so that's 12 plus 19 is 31, plus 5 cold damage,
Done.
36.
Done. You drop him. He goes tumbling on down. So yeah, as he begins climbing up onto the bridge, some of it crumbling away as he brings these great kind of dark paws up. Erlon slams Bloodletter down with a great burst of frost, which immediately kind of evaporates as the thing slams back on down into the ground. And you can see, wading through the lava below, are coming a few more. One seems to be marching his way over from this side, and one begins kind of making its way up onto the bridge from the crushed stone down there. However, that is the entirety of their turn, which brings us to Leander.
I think Leander, basically standing there after watching Erlon dispatch that fire giant, just wiping the sweat from his brow, and he's basically going to walk over to that kind of the corner where the bridge and the wall meet.
Sure.
And he's going to hold action. And when that fire giant comes to him, he's going to cut him down.
Just waiting on my giants to go to you.
I don't have any. I can throw my +1 dagger at him.
No, I roll for the bridge. The bridge begins to collapse. So, right before you, right next to you, Erlon, and right next to you, pretty much before melee, Gilroy Jar, the bridge at your end begins to tumble away, and it seems as though it's going to become increasingly more difficult to cross this thing the longer you wait here. Erlon!
Right. So.
Well, you do have a wizard, so these things can be bypassable, but
How do I want to do this? Well, I'm raging, so I should probably just kill something.
Go in there.
So, is that difficult terrain?
yeah, it would be.
Alright, I'm gonna avoid that by running under it with my cloak. I'm gonna run to the bottom of the bridge and come back up around at that guy.
So, yeah,
Give him a little surprise.
essentially, run on the side over here.
Standing underneath the bridge above the lava.
Jump up, and you can see, this bridge is supported by absolutely decrepit and crumbling pillars that are falling apart. And there's a pillar underneath, essentially, this extended space that you swing back up on, and you see this fire giant, much like the last one, is pawing his way on up, trying to climb and tear down the bridge in the same motion. And yeah, you can make your attacks.
Cool. Yep, so reckless attack, greater weapon fighting. It's gonna be 20.
It's gonna hit. It counts.
Alright. So that'll be 21 regular, 8 cold.
Nice.
And I will swipe at him again.
Yes.
That's not gonna do it.
Gotcha. So the next time he manages to swat your attack out of the way with his huge motion, and that brings us to the invisible jar.
Which one's Erlon at?
He is all the way down here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fighting that one.
Alright. Okay, Jar's going to, I think we're going to have him just kind of move as far to the east here
Sure.
as you can get. I'm guessing you can climb down pretty swiftly to the
Oh, yeah.
second story.
So towards the living one up there, or the dead one?
Past the dead one, he's going to stay up on the top
Sure.
there. He's just going to try to work around and to a flank position.
It's just a complex map because of the lighting. So, further than that?
Yeah, if he can go a little bit further.
What, your movement speed is?
He's going to go at his normal movement speed. He doesn't want to dash because
Sure.
even though he's invisible, he wants to try to be quiet. Sort of stealthy, not super quick.
Boom.
Okay.
There. One more.
So, and that's all he'll do for now. He'll
Hold on that.
he'll hold an action. He
So-
may shoot at one if it engages somebody.
Melee, after you've launched those 2 arrows, Jar's gone. You turn over your shoulder looking for Jar to do something, and he's disappeared. Gilroy.
I will cast, now that I see that the bridge is collapsing. Very good.
Just as I planned.
Everything's going according to plan. I will cast Ice Storm.
Where?
On those 2 on the far end of the bridge. Not the far end, but...
Yep. Do what you do.
Alright, so... That's done me well in...
Lava room.
yeah, in lava caverns. in the past, so thought I'd try it again.
Presumably.
Okay. 4 of those, 2 of these. Sure. Thank you. 7, 14, 26.
26. Okay. So you call down these great shards of ice.
4 d6 of that, so that was like 13 cold damage.
Okay. Then roll an additional. Oh, that takes out the one that everyone's fighting with the additional frost damage. However, as the ice shards hit the lava, there are these huge bursts and bubbles of steam. And roll 3d12, and Erlon, roll me a dexterity saving throw. You have advantage because of danger sense, as that end of the bridge is just gonna explode.
20.
What'd you roll, Isaiah?
19.
So that beats your DC, right?
I believe, yeah, it's 18.
Okay, so you managed to jump back a bit, and though, I mean, the ice storm, a powerful spell on its own, in conflicting with the environment of this room, causes just this adverse explosion of steam and pressure, and so you'll be taking, you're raging, right? Yeah,
Yep.
so you'll be taking 5 damage from that, and the giant himself. Well, what was that? 19? 20?
20.
Yeah, so 20 damage. That's
2019.
Yeah. And he rears back and brings his arm up to cover his eyes, and that brings us to melee.
Okay, so the one in that still has full health, not on Leander's side, but the other side.
The one someone might be looking into. Sure.
I don't know, it looks like the direction cowards might go in. Oh, you sharpshooter.
Alright.
I thought Bloodletter was cold. Sleep with one eye open.
Can't be surprised.
Oh my goodness.
I can't be surprised.
That's 15.
Yeah. Yeah, they're these huge lumbering things, and not only that. How much?
21.
Nice. You can see these particular fire giants. It feels like this chamber in its entirety was made as a defensive measure. Fire giants, in particular, long-sworn enemies of Bralter, the ice giant, Erlon's ancestor, and one of the enlightening figures in Alaire. However, their armor, it looks as though they've been waiting for millennia. Their armor is practically melted, and though functional, they're weak. They're old and weak.
I'm gonna
For fire giants, which is, a monstrous, huge, strong thing.
12.
Not that.
They're not that weak.
Not 12 weeks.
Not that weak and old.
So that will bring us to the fire giants. This one is going to run up and make an attack on Erlon. He is going to hit. He throws. They do a total of 11 damage. This one's going to move on up. Leander, you are at the ready.
Alright. You're gonna swing at him. 15.
Yep. Natural one.
A 4. 9. 16 damage.
Okay.
Do we got my second attack?
Yeah.
Extra attack, baby.
Yep.
And 18.
Yes. Yes.
16.
16. Alright. 2 significant bright and flashy swings. And he is going to hit you for a nat 20. So.
It's always me.
Yeah,
Within 30
44.
feet?
It has to be you, yeah. Within 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah!
Alright, Walter's heading there to block some damage.
Okay.
Not bad. 9.
9.
Blocking.
So that would be 32 damage. It would be 22 times 2 for 44, minus 9 for 35, minus 3 for 32. And, he brings this huge molten hammer down and sends Leander stumbling back a little bit with a great swing that kind of clangs against his armor and rings out like a bell. This one just makes it to me. It's removed up there. Here's a roll for the status of the bridge. Right beneath your feet, Erlon, there's a shaking and a crumbling, and yet it maintains, at least for the moment, but you feel like staying here even another few seconds will lead to this part of the bridge collapsing, and you may very well end up in lava, which will bring us to Leander, your actual turn.
Okay. Ow. That hurt. 21.
Yep.
Just gonna burn all my level 1 spell slots here. 15. 22.
22.
Swing at him again. 23.
Yep.
12. 19 damage.
Got him.
Sweet. And then I'll move over to melee.
Sounds good. So yeah. Swing, swing, and then slam! He pretty much bashes you against the wall, causing some of it to crumble around you, and then swing, and he goes stumbling on back. You run over to bolster Melee's defenses, and that will bring us to the top of the round with Erlon. Erlon, this fire giant, has made his way on up to the platform that you're standing atop of, the rocks crumbling around him. He looks weak.
Yep. So I'm gonna reckless attack, greater weapon fighting. 19 plus.
Yeah.
So that'll be 21 and 1 cold damage. 22.
It's enough! And he goes flying off into the lava once more, and there is a great hissing and bubbling as he is enveloped by it. And finds his grave, probably where fire giants like to be found.
So I'll use my Cloak of Arachnida again to run around the bottom to avoid the difficult terrain and come back up at the one next to melee.
Okay.
And since I killed that one, I get a bonus attack,
Yes,
right?
yep.
Perfect. So can I flank it for the
Oh, sure.
advantage?
Yeah. I get in the position. It's a bit wonky in this room, but...
So that'll be 27.
Yep.
That is 18 and then 5 fire damage, or cold damage, sorry. So 23 altogether.
Oh.
And then I get my normal second attack. 24.
Yep.
And that is... Sorry, that's 12. And then 4 cold damage. So 16.
Got him. So, you send the last of these fire giants rocking on back, and you use your Cloak of Arachnida to go beneath the bridge and swing around with Bloodletter, and in a flash of attacks, you send him slamming onto the ground with a great rumble. And, oh, Jar, it was an interesting scene. However, once the battle kind of concludes and you find that this space is no longer occupied by any enemies, at least, the bridge continues to collapse away. And if you guys are going to make it across without the use of spells, it's up to you. Well, I mean, you could just bypass any saves or potential damage by dimension dooring or something, which is totally within your options. Or if you want to try and run it and make the way across, then
I'm gonna.
How wide is it?
You can see the end is not too much further than what's collapsed. Probably about twice that distance there.
So around 40 feet?
Yeah, another.
I'm gonna heal me and Erlon back up.
Okay.
I have a crazy idea. I'm getting used to this cloak. It has other powers.
Okay.
I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'm not sure how well this will go. So I point Bloodletter and I say some magical words.
Mhm.
And it shoots a 40-foot web. Because it doubles the size of a normal web spell
Right.
this cloak has to get across. I could carry you across.
Oh,
Halfway.
carry us.
So, You
Sure.
I do it at like the level underneath. I don't do it like
Yeah.
yeah,
you bring on some webbing.
a lot of it.
Yeah, which
You.
webs this place. Oh no. And,
It's gonna burst into flames.
Well, no, it's on the because
Yeah.
it's stretching from side to side because there's different levels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're
working with that. So you guys at least, well, it seems to be holding together at least decently because Erlon Spider-Man's this problem, and Jar, what are you doing during this time?
I guess Jar will just keep scouting if there's a way around.
So as you look around, Jar, you can see that there's kind of two ends to this room. The lava flows from a subterranean kind of river-like space, and you'd be able to. It looks as though you could try and jump the lava here or whatever. It pools up throughout the rest. However, it looks as though now with the webbing, the bridge is probably decently safe to cross at least this time around.
Okay, so I guess Jar's going to double back. And,
You still invisible when you approach the party?
yeah, I got a full hour on it. I'm gonna
Throw
use
your
it.
advantage stealth, and everyone else can throw perception checks if you want to.
No clue.
26.
11.
21.
All right, you rejoin the party.
We look around. I'm not saying that he's missing.
Where is Yar?
I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
I was looking around. See if there's other ways across. Nope.
Okay. Alright.
So, together, you guys make your way on across this crumbling bridge. However, held together decently enough, at least, by webbing. And when you reach the other side, you find that there is a further chamber, some halls that lead deeper into this subterranean space, beyond some crumbling kind of ruins and whatnot. And let me actually get everyone in some kind of order.
You keep leaving webs everywhere, Erlon. They're going to think you're drow.
Let him, it'll throw him off our side.
Boom. And so, as you guys continue along and find yourselves going throughout this space, venturing out from the lava chamber, the sweat is kind of, dripping from your forehead, and you find yourself pretty exhausted. The heat has worn down on you, but an unnatural burst of cool air, which is as refreshing as it is unsettling, hits you right in the chest and the face, and a calm voice rings out from the walls around you. There. That's better now, isn't it? Come, let's talk. And, you guys
That woman.
venture forth. Say that like a very distrustful.
The one I just heard about from my good friend.
Is Ellery?
Yes.
You just carried all that rubble and webbing with you.
It's all webbed up. You got sticky feet.
Boom, there. You managed to leave that behind. That's so funny. All the tokens were like stuck to you.
I'm not used to casting magic.
Yeah.
It's a fickle thing.
It's gonna become a thing.
I'll show you the big one.
And you guys
Sounds rather threatening.
enter on into this space. I'll give a description once you're actually in there.
We should say just
Yeah. He's lined up in the hallway. That's a safe place to be.
Who is
Oh,
that?
they can kill us one by one.
Yeah. Boom. Jar.
It's a minotaur.
Right. Side.
There's a poem about that.
There is.
Do you want to hear it?
The song is.
I remember it.
I've already heard it, only Dragonborn like it.
Also the.
Fair.
Okay, so as you turn the corner, an uncannily graceful-looking woman peers back towards you. Her face is covered, masked with painted wood, and her brown hair flows incredibly gracefully down her shoulders. In her hands, she grasps a staff constructed of writhing vines, the top of which holds what looks to be shining diamond or a tiny star, it holds incredible magical power. And she goes, "Welcome, child of Grolter, Melee of Farrenwell, Gilroy of Nalfaron's Order, Leander of the Silver Keepers, and Jar, Keeper of Diodar's Will. My name is Diastris." Everyone turns toward Jar for a moment. My name is Diastris, and for millennia I've kept watch over this land and maintained its condition. What brings you here?
Well, I have the blood of Gralter running through me, and Farrenwell has charged up into the wood, and this is the only viable way to escape.
And it all feels so appropriate to have gone that way. Farrenwell, the fledgling. It's like a civilization that just managed to peck its way out of its shell. It is not my will that evil rule, you see. Quite the opposite. I root out the very structures that bring our demise, attract the darkness to our doorstep. Civilization grows, it uncovers and learns and studies and learns. It just cannot leave ancient stones unturned. Once it has a taste of true power, the ability to find the perfect future and abandon all other possibilities, that's when the sky darkens and all is set back. In some ways, it is too late. But if I can at least protect my domain from this future, I must try. Now, come no further, or risk my wrath. And as she states this, she disappears in a burst of leaves, flowing with a kind of sweet-smelling wind out of this space, and emerging from the corners of this room are these terrifying-looking bird-faced creatures. Didn't
She
you?
seemed cool.
Harley.
Boom. And yeah, they're foul, spite-handed beings with bird-like beaks, and they emerge from the shadows, growling and snapping at you the entire time. That's gonna be initiative again. There's a lot of fights and
A dungeon.
Yeah. So that's actually pretty good for the first time for me in forever.
Who knows?
Ah.
I know.
Gilroy,
5.
Leander,
8.
Jar,
24.
Haley,
14.
Erlon.
6.
Impressive.
That is like right behind you.
So first is Jar, then will be these bird creatures.
So I'm still invisible, right? She just
Yeah, that wasn't
somehow
long enough.
saw through it. Okay. So, and is that Erlon? Is that the northernmost? He's next to the northernmost one. I guess Jar will dash over, just kind of behind it toward the hallway,
Sure.
and then he'll. Does he even need to dash to do that?
No, that can just be a standard movement.
So he will make a standard movement over for that.
Okay.
And he will make a full attack from behind.
That breaks your invisibility.
It will, yes.
Yeah.
But I still get to,
Oh yeah.
as I attack. So the first attack should be with advantage.
You
right?
got absolutely.
Let's say 16.
16 will hit. Okay. Tis their AC.
Four, 6, 7, 8. So 15.
15.
And then he'll go with the offhand
Okay.
dagger for a 22
Yep.
to hit. For 5.
5. 2 significant hits as Jar appears in the hallway to your north, kind of. And yeah, he brings down his weapons and slashes into this being, and it gives out a strange kind of cooing noise from its throat. And in that moment, it shudders a bit and seemingly disappears. This one charges forth and begins to stab at. Oh, you like these things? You have a growing or you want one for a pet?
Melee doesn't, but I do.
That's fair, that's fair. I can see Tori liking these eldritch abominations, but Melei's probably not so happy with them. So, 2 attacks against Leander as it brings its...
Very nice.
so that's going to hit you once for 17 piercing.
I love these. These blades.
This one, the one that disappeared in a strange blinking motion, reappears, facing both Jar and Erlon. It will stab once at Jar with a miss, slashes out with these bone spike appendages they have, and then tries to bring the other one up underneath Erlon, and that will hit for, that would be 10 damage against you. You maintain that rage, right? It was literally like 30 seconds between this fight, so... 10. Boom! That is their turn. That'll bring us to melee.
I'm gonna take just one step back, just to the other side of the doorway.
Sure.
And then the one that had disappeared and reappeared, I can
Just
get past Erlon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they're large beings. They're like about 9 feet tall. Kind of have to hunch over in this space. So
Perfect. I will use sharpshooter.
let's see it.
14.
Not quite.
Harder to hit than a friar, dude.
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. 16
Yep.
for 23.
23. A pretty significant hit. The first one clanging against the wall. The second one. That'll bring us to Leander.
I hate these things. I'm gonna, swing down on this guy.
Okay. What would I know? Blink beaks.
Blink
Great, yeah,
beaks.
blink beaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use a beam, so I came up with something.
28 to hit.
28 to hit, so I'm just gonna roll these dice.
15, 20, 23, 30.
30. Yeah. Ow. Feathers go flying.
13.
Hey! The next one manages to deflect with his bone appendage. And that'll bring us from Leander to Erlon.
Oh, these things are disgusting. Reckless attack, greater weapon fighting.
Alright.
So that's 23.
Yep. When you roll with advantage, you always roll like a 2 and a 16, or a 1 and a 19. Like, it has to be opposite ends of the spectrum.
Balance.
Yes. Finding balance.
Yeah. So you said less than a minute has passed?
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll say you got a few rounds left in this rage.
Alright, cool. This only lasts a minute, too.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So that is 9 plus 19 is 28 regular, 3 cold.
Cold 31. 31 in barrel stuff there.
And I'll swipe again.
Okay.
28.
Yep.
For that is 26.
Done. So, 2 quick slams with Bloodletter beat this thing down. Now you have a bonus attack.
Yep. Going after that other guy.
No surprise.
That's not going to do it.
Whoosh! And that'll bring us to Gilroy. Want one of these for your...
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine so. That's what I thought.
I'm going to banish this thing.
It rolls a 7, so yeah, it's gone.
It blinks out of existence. I think I'll call it Blinkbeak.
Excellent. So that ends that particular combat. It was a fast one. Some of them are 1 round. And you guys are left kind of in this ruinous space. Definitely feels familiar. You've been in subterranean ruins of this design before. However, this one there's a dark energy about it, which you felt in the Whispering Woods to a lesser extent. This Diastrus figure is ancient and powerful. That you immediately feel. The way that she disappeared, the way she addresses you, and the things she discusses all suggest that she knows and has seen things that few mortal kind have seen on Alaire. And this ruin is her home, or her cathedral, or her prison. It's something of all of those, it feels
All
like.
of the above.
Yeah. Let's see. I'd say we got enough time for a bit more, right?
Sure.
You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep adventuring? Cool.
We can go down one of these hallways.
Yeah, check something out. So, yeah, which way would you guys like to go?
Where that won't kill us.
That's fair.
That's real helpful.
Yeah.
Which direction is that energy coming from?
It feels, you could throw a perception check if you wanted to, try and attune yourself to that.
Take a deep breath, close my eyes. 13.
There's definitely something coming from the south, but you also feel a humming coming from the east there, over in this chamber across the way.
I relay that to the group.
Okay?
I vote.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, east sounds good.
Alright.
I was going to say let's go north away from the scary vibrating thingies, but okay, whatever.
So you guys,
Away, of course you'd stay away from them.
you guys convene together and make your way into this eastern chamber. And what you find is it being much in the same state as the Zelriak was. This chamber is filled with shackled skeletons who are bound to the walls, and in the center, is a statue of a druid in a meditative stance, albeit his face is greatly pained. He looks to be in anguish. Probably have to reload this page. Yeah. It's just now getting what I did 30 seconds ago. Yeah, as you look upon him, definitely of a Zelriak's order, you can see, in fact, much like a Zelriak, he had a snake familiar, and that being is coiled around his right leg. However, yeah, even though he looks as though he's kind of praying and very reverent, his face is totally, in pain.
Contorted.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And throw an intelligence check, everyone, if you want to. You wanna move now?
Leander's feeling
Not my brightest moment.
It's not a saving throw,
There we
right?
go.
What's that?
No, just a
Leander's
check.
the smartest one in the room.
Boom.
Yeah.
There we have it.
17.
Nice.
16.
Nice.
11.
Okay.
11.
8.
So, as Leander and Gilroy look upon this statue, you can feel the magical essence throughout it, and you also remember Zelriak saying that this ritual was the source of Diastrus' power, the sacrifice that these druids make. At least, that's you can determine that.
And who are all these people chained to the walls?
A 17 doesn't quite surmise all that. Those of you, Jar, Melee, Erla, throw me a perception check real quick. This is definitely something you
Better at these.
I'm not.
Jar,
18.
Melee?
19.
5.
Yeah. Jar and Melee to the south. The soft sound of drums. The pattering of feet.
No
Soft
way.
feet against the ground.
But we were wrong last time, so I really hope we're right this time. I think I'm just gonna go.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll
Alright.
follow.
Don't
Yeah.
run headlong into army of
I'm
gnomes.
not running, I'm
They're probably evil gnomes. It's terrible.
You poor thing.
They do horrible.
Leander, you're gonna, Erlon, you'll be right up behind him. Take a Jar with your forewarning there. And then, since Leander and Gilroy were looking upon the statue the longest, do you guys end up doing anything with that, or?
I'm going to continue pondering over it.
Fair enough.
Yes, me too.
I'm not sneaking, but I'm taking my time.
Okay. So, well, alright, so as you do that, you can hear, crossing over this bridge, once again in one of these kind of elvish subterranean spaces. They always have these really crystal clear blue rivers, and you can hear a kind of familiar sound of scales against wet stone down the way, some large lizard-like creature, and also as you continue on down this way, making your way into these roughly hewn stone caverns and hallways. Throw me one more perception check, everyone, just to see.
A 13.
18?
6.
29.
Oh man, Earl.
Actually, it rolled a 1, that stealth. So, you guys notice that at the very end of this hallway, there's this big writhing mass of what looks to be vines and foliage and whatnot, and mud and rocks, but it is very much so alive. And that would be... that would be initiative.
Oh.
there's no way of evading that one. The old shambling mound. Who rolls a very impressive -1 for initiative. So enjoy that.
-1.
-1. Yeah.
That means we get 2 turns before he
Can I
gets.
even do that? Yeah. He was ill prepared for such an event. Gilroy.
8.
8. Erlon.
11.
11. Leander.
3.
You still beat him.
Yep.
Melee.
22.
22. Jar.
21.
21.
I'm fast when it counts.
You guys, Jar and Melee feels like an initiative competition between you two pretty often. You guys also note that making its way slowly on down from that tunnel on over there is another one. Like that. And so Melee, your go.
Alright, I'll use sharpshooter.
Sounds good.
On the giant vine squid thing.
You shambling mound.
Thank you.
I like vines.
Fine squid.
For 9 to...
No, not that one.
Gonna do it again.
Okay. No.
I'm gonna use action surge.
Okay.
It's just a mound.
You're just shooting at the dirt.
Where do you shoot at it?
14.
Not quite.
There we go.
22.
Yes.
Okay.
Rapid fire melee.
I was really ready, but not.
Not vine squid ready.
18.
18 damage. So one of the arrows pierces into this thing. You can see its vines react to vine squid.
I'm just gonna step to the side so I'm not right in front of.
You put Erlon in the way, essentially.
Just kind of. So I'm kind of next to Erlon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Boom. And that'll bring us to Jar.
I think I was just too close.
Nice.
Don't know what to do. I'll just shoot it.
So the one down the way, or the one?
Wait, let's see. Where's
Down the other way.
There's one here. Jar is where? Oh, Jar is in between
Right there.
Gilroy and Erlon. His nameplate's kind of covered up.
So yeah, Jar's going to circle around up onto the bridge area, then he's
Sure.
gonna fire down.
Oh.
And that'll be a 24 to hit.
Yep.
Or 8 piercing.
8. Alright. And that takes us from Jar to Erlon.
Right, so I look at this thing and I just go, I call out, Genra, let's make this quick. It's very strange.
And as he appears, he goes, "Do you make puns with the other ones' names?"
Oh, yeah. But I will, don't worry.
I'm looking forward to hearing them as he kind of readies his fist.
I charge in yelling, I respect you!
Okay.
It's gonna be... Sorry.
It's all good. It's really funny.
18.
18 will hit. Oh, jeez.
23.
Okay.
I will attack again. For 16.
Yep.
Why are these things so...
And that'll be another 15.
15. So, yeah. Blood letter goes to work. Genra smirks as you run down the way. I respect you. Axe overhead and yeah, charge into battle. Gilroy.
Gilroy will turn to the one in the river.
Yep.
To our side, and I will cast a level 3 Scorching Ray.
Sounds like a good means of attack.
Yeah. So
You also see as you turn, Gilroy, another one of these statues is on the bank here.
Curious.
It did not move.
That's a 21.
They don't move, trust me.
Mhm.
21 will hit.
14.
Not quite.
Every time. Oh, a natural 1.
So, one hit?
Yeah,
There's
one more.
4, yeah.
24.
Yeah.
2 hits.
2 hits.
46. 37 damage. That's 11.
Roll out.
That's close.
Leander!
I'm gonna run up to this thing.
Which thing?
The one by the river.
Fire damage.
How's he looking?
He's looking like he's about to eat you.
What can I cut at? His vines?
There's vines and stuff, yeah.
Not just stabbing the ground or anything?
Probably not.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm slashing at this thing. 25.
Yeah.
I should have. 21, 28 damage.
28?
Yep.
No one's throwing lightning damage, right? Just wondering.
Now that
Yeah.
you mention it,
No.
no.
No,
I should
trust
have
me.
no lightning spells.
Oh no.
Jar just had this great idea for a spell called Lightning Ball.
Well, I stabbed the ground. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, at that time you stabbed the ground. Huh? Yeah, I confirm, how bad.
A 2.
You fall into the river.
This place is the worst.
I just wasted 3 arrows. You're falling in the river.
I know.
Hate being under.
I'm gonna be eaten.
Yeah.
Check the general to
Yeah,
see
now
if
he's gonna try and
cool.
eat you.
It's always the slimes and stuff.
If you will, yeah.
Why is it always me?
This is reminiscent of season 1. Yeah, he's definitely going to eat you, so I need you to throw a
He always gets eaten.
strength saving throw. We're
Every
gonna throw
time.
that at disadvantage
Disadvantage.
because of how tiny you are.
23.
Yeah, you managed to fend him off.
This thing's trying to eat me!
Yeah, as
Not
a-
again, Leander! You must stop doing this to yourself!
Consumed, a memoir.
So you will be taking 13 bludgeoning damage
No.
as it essentially begins to whip you with vines and rocks and whatnot and drag you towards it. However, you snap those vines and move away from it. This thing's trying to eat me! Which is exactly what it's going to attempt to do to Erlon as well. Miss with the first attack, hit with the second one, so I need you to make a strength saving throw. That is going to be 8 damage to
I rolled a 26.
you. Yeah, easily enough.
Imagine I'm like I have vine wrapped around each hand.
Yeah, classic Samson.
You said 8 damage though?
8 damage, yeah, from the slam attack. Which will bring us to the top of the round with melee.
Alright. Gonna try and shoot him.
I'm
gonna
steadying your bow.
I am going to back up a little bit first so that I can see the other one that's
Both?
trying to eat Leander.
Sure. So you want to go like the bridge here?
Yes.
Cool.
All right. And I'm going to use sharpshooter for the one that was attacking Erlon
Sounds good.
for 22
Yes.
for 19.
19.
A little bit better. Do the same thing to the same guy.
Okay.
18
Yep.
for 19.
There you go. Two very precise, nearly the exact shot.
Very.
And that brings us from melee to Jar.
So Jar's gonna look over at Melee and
Oh, look who's running away from tentacles.
Look who's doing damage.
and Jar will he'll just take another shot into the mass of stuff
Yeah.
for a 16.
Yep.
For 5 damage.
5.
Yeah.
Damn. Erlon, your go.
All right.
Unless Jar, any bonus actions, hide or anything.
No.
All right.
No.
Erlon,
All right. Reckless attack, greater weapon fighting.
let's see it.
As I rip the vine off and go to swipe it. Oops. So that will be 24.
Yep.
It's going to be 24 damage.
Okay. Barely still holding itself together.
Last attack. 20.
It's going to hit.
For 19 damage.
Okay. And yeah, you bring Bloodletter on down. The frost freezes over some of the mud. It breaks apart into bits, and after this assault, it begins to just kind of lay itself along the floor as a puddle of mud. And that kind of reveals that in this chamber, you can go a bit further down, are 2 additional stone statues, much like the ones you have found spread about throughout this space. Anything else you would like to do, Erwan?
I will run back out as I hear
You hear
something
Leander-
heavy fall into the river.
Yeah, and Leander cry out, "This thing's trying to eat me!"
So I'll sprint my way over.
20, 30. Yeah, 40?
Yep.
40. Boom. And that will bring us from Erlon to Gilroy.
Again, another scorching ray. I'll save you, Leander. That's a 26.
Yes.
And a 22.
Yes.
And a 20.
Yes. They're decreasing.
And a 13.
You will never get the full power of the scorching ray.
Happened like one time.
Like a goon.
12. 22. 27.
That's a damn good scorching ray, though. So you blast away, arcing across the battlefield. It lights up this tunnel for a moment, and you can see it goes a bit further down, and then it seems to, further down the way the water's flowing underneath these bridges, it seems to split off, and there may very well be more bridges and more ruins on both ends of the river down that way, as far as you can tell. And that will bring us from Gilroy to Leander. Leander, you stand up out of the water.
Mm-hmm. Can I take a swing out?
Yeah, that's your movement.
26.
26 will hit. Grab all the dice.
Not all. I know. 14, 17, 18, 25.
25.
14 to hit.
Swing!
Okay.
He's going to be hitting you once, Leander. You can deflect some of that damage. with
Yeah,
that,
might
right?
as well.
So it's going to be, it would be 13 for 5 damage, and roll your strength saving throw as it attempts to drag you in.
At this man.
Oh, what? Am I at just?
No, it just
That was 'cause I rolled
yeah. 'Cause it was pretty-
24.
yeah, you're fine. And that brings us back to the top with melee.
I'm just gonna move over to the other side of Jar, so I'm not right behind Gilroy and the
Mhm.
mess of everyone. And I'm gonna use sharpshooter.
Sounds good.
16
Yep.
for 22.
He's done. He sloughs off into the water, and you see most of its body, its frame, kind of just melts away through this river flowing on downstream. And as you guys listen in, you do hear there's this drumming and soft footsteps coming from the south. But as the shambling mound kind of dissipates and flows down the river, there's a hissing, a lizard-like. You throw nature if you want to try to identify what that might be.
19.
Nice.
19.
Nice.
20.
What?
You're well studied in the nature.
Just a genius.
Oh, nature is intelligence. Never mind. I thought it was wisdom.
What'd you get?
17.
Oh yeah, you're right. 22.
Oh. Shouldn't have said
What would
anything.
you get, Jar?
16.
Okay, so, yeah, based on just the hissing, I suppose, Erlon, you have some indication this is a large lizard of sorts, probably a basilisk, and Gilroy, you have almost no doubt this is a basilisk. They turn people to stone with their eyesight, you know. If we're going to fight this thing, when we do, the big technique is to avert your gaze somehow. You've read books on how to fight basilisks. If you are turned to stone by them, it can be undone with their blood and a bit of time. However, most who are turned to stone, and parties that are turned to stone, don't get the opportunity. So, also sounds like a large male, ancient, and has been waiting for a long time.
Based on that.
That's a male.
Well, he is a genius.
Ancient specimen.
I relay the information.
Yeah.
Say,
That's no woman.
That's no hiss of a female basilisk.
So what if it can't see us, but we can't see it?
I've got one of their eyes in my bag. I'm trying to figure if I can do something with it.
Oh, you would know they hate themselves, as in they hate their own kind.
So I'm showing. I just kind of held on to this eye. Long.
interesting.
One big way to trick them is to get them to see their own reflection. They'll attack that and petrify themselves, essentially.
Andrew, if we have time, you should polish your armor.
My shield.
Yeah,
Yes.
you figure that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
Put
So,
my eye away then, guys.
We'll get buffing then.
I can polish it.
with magic,
Yes.
boom, your shield is shiny and clean.
Nice.
So, despite that, knowing the enemy that you may very well face further down the way, your heartstrings tug to the south.
For our good friend.
Your good friend Goodlegs, who somehow got into the chamber of the Everlasting Father. Though it has been established in Erlon's defense that he knows secret ways to get into various places, so...
I just really care about this upcoming reunion between him and his father. I'm really invested. It's just-
Yeah, Waterwheel's not in the best of shape right now. So.
So yeah, you guys
They
make your way...
need good luck.
Oh, did you grab one? You guys grabbed one of my statues. I've been following you around.
I told you they were moving!
we just threw it on Erlon's
Who
back.
Oh, he's performing for a bunch of multicolored wyverns.
You know,
Look at him with his
whatever.
song.
Like he does. And he seems to be playing some various instruments, particularly the drums, as he swings his legs about and whatnot, and chants. And the wyverns, are looking towards each other and kind of nodding their necks to the beat and whatnot. And Goodlegs turns over as you guys emerge into this space, and he goes, "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing here? Only the blood of the everlasting Father can enter.
No, through that door. I used a different door. I'm playing for these wyverns.
I'm about to show you the door.
I'm in the middle of a performance. They'll go mad if I stop.
Oh, yeah. No.
So how's the old man?
He
I know
misses you.
Well, of course he does. For
Yeah,
good reason.
Barzel going through a renovation.
Is he putting in a stage? Of course not. He's not an interior designer. Didn't go to school for that.
More like a skylight.
Skylight. He stops for half a second. One of the wyverns. Okay, well, that's kind of what's going on in Waterwheel.
Farewell.
War.
And he drops his sticks. And he goes, no, come on up. War? There's no armies can make it all the way over there.
Oh yeah, I did.
They
Quite a
saw-
large one.
And he actually stopped you. They got to my dad's tavern?
He's okay. The tavern needs him.
Oh, well. He calls out, Lady Diastra's my performance is over. And he gives a bow, and he goes, I think you're about right. The audiences around here, well, they're not exactly throwing the gold my way. Wyverns. And he goes, I suppose it's about time I go see my dad. And with that, he opens up what seems to be much like a dimension door with the smell of sulfur and disappears out of that room.
Why don't we get him to teach us how to do that? It's useful.
It's only used for the arts.
I am an artist of sorts.
Usually he gives us something too.
Yeah.
We got 3 wyverns.
They
I don't think these are good.
they begin scampering on out of here, seemingly not looking for a fight.
That's a cool
Yes,
Yeah, we'll be nice to you.
Well,
Maybe these drums are magic.
the drums are
Come
not
on.
bad.
Get the drum.
Sure,
Oh no.
bong.
Not
Not
that
magic.
Wyvern pokes its head back in the room.
Yeah. Leander, as you turn the corner, you can see that up this space in this chamber, you can see that up this space in this chamber, there we go, another one of these statues, humming and motionless, and a desk covered in what appears to be potentially good legs reward for doing this. Various potions and tinctures and whatnot. If you'd like to loot away at it, you can.
I told you.
But I keep an eye on that statue.
They
I
don't-
swear I've seen them
They
move.
don't actually.
I swear.
So you find there are 5 potions of greater healing, 1 for each of you.
Okay.
There are 2 1d8 cold oils.
I'm taking those.
Yeah. There's a scroll of Tensor's floating disc. There is a 1d8 poison.
I'll take that.
And there is a potion of, what giant? Just a second, it's not giant strength, it says in my notes, but which giant? Let's say the one that brings you up to a 23, which I believe is, fire, frost, what's the one beyond frost? Cloud?
Yeah.
Cloud giant strength, yeah.
That's for Gilroy, right?
Yeah.
Gotta get swole.
So you guys managed to gather together some various rewards left behind by good legs. And
How large is the drum?
how large is the drum? It's a finely made, probably 5-pound drum.
Okay. Yeah, Jar's gonna grab that.
Okay.
I can learn a new instrument.
Absolutely.
I'll grab the loot.
All right. Yeah, there's also a loot.
So
All
we can
right.
return those one day.
And
I love them here. They're mine now. It's the way the world works. It's how I make my living. People leave it, I claim it.
Gotta practice something on the road. sure
That
he'll
is
be
the
delighted.
finale of one story in the lands of Alaire. At least over 4 seasons, Good Legs has finally found his way home. And I think with that, we're going to close this episode. And next episode, we'll complete this foray through Diastrus's domain and this strange and ancient being's will and how it is imposed on the world of Alaire. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. TJ, say some things.
Yes, as always, thank you for joining us. Thank you to our new followers, as I said. Thank you to Dave Schroeder for the 5 bits and the continued support.
You're the
It's
man,
always
Dave.
good to see you guys chatting and hanging out.
Yeah.
So thank you. If you're new to Freakopolis on Twitch, consider following us. We do this every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we've been streaming a little less than usual. It's so hot in
Yeah,
upstate New York right now.
Yeah, your
Uh,
computer where you stream, crazy hot.
Yeah.
The office where we chill, play on the PlayStation's crazy hot. But in due time, we'll be back.
Yeah, it's not surprising to find us streaming something. We're all got a bunch of games that we've been playing lately. If you're here, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us for free. If not, you can subscribe to us for $5. It gets you some cool emotes, love from the cast and crew, and an awesome badge. So consider doing that. It helps to support the show and support our network. If you're watching on YouTube, consider subscribing there, liking, commenting, all that stuff, hitting that bell. And we also are a brick-and-mortar retail store for comics and role-playing games and tabletop games and miniature games, card games. And you can find us here in Whitehall, New York, 5 days a week, Wednesday through Sunday. Ian and I are usually behind the counter. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And we have a Discord server that is active with lots to talk about SDCC stuff right now.
What's going on there?
And that link is in the chat right now, so I encourage you to find us out in the grander internet or the grander world at large.
Awesome. Enjoying my gaming?
Yeah. We run a community called Join by Gaming. We use games to help promote positivity, and we run charitable events. We have one I'm very excited about coming up here at the Freakopolis Geekery a week from today. It'll be July 28th. It's Dungeons and Donations. Ian will be running a couple Dungeons and Dragons games you can play.
Here on our Lands of Alaire table? Yeah, it's
Pretty
going to
awesome.
be freaking sweet. But there's
I
also...
think there's only like 2 tickets left to the
Yeah, that
12
one's
o'clock.
There's
Awesome.
one in, I think one in the first one.
So-
Yeah, one in the first and something like that.
If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want in on the primo game here, then be sure to get your tickets online. Where are we getting them?
It's joinbygaming.ticketleap.com.
There you have it.
Perfect. And we'll have a lot of raffles. There's going to be Casey's homemade baked goods here with a lot of really delicious things.
Yeah.
Savage Worlds by Tyler definitely being played. Call of Cthulhu
Yep.
with Aaron also. There's 2 seats left in each of those. So there's a little room, but get your tickets as soon as you can.
No
Kids on
doubt.
Bikes,
Yeah,
too.
Kids on Bikes.
The Bikes has 3 seats left.
Doug from Victory Condition Gaming. And,
Good friend of ours.
I know that there's a lot of folks who intend to drop by and pick a table, but the only way to guarantee that you're getting in on these games is to get your ticket beforehand.
Yeah, and we're looking at cutting a couple games because nobody's signed up. So if you really want to play Fate or Kobolds Ate My Babies,
You best get those tickets.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to play Kobolds Ain't My Babies?
So good.
And then Join by Gaming. All of this is for a charitable cause,
It
of
is
course.
for the Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center.
Right.
If you can't make it to the event, but you still want to donate and give to the cause, you can go to joinbygaming.com. We have a link. There's also a link on our Facebook page and Instagram.
So all proceeds will go towards an awesome cause, and it's going to be a great time. And finally, a huge thank you to my father, TJ and Tyler's too, who puts in crazy amount of work to have this show run with the level of production you see. You probably heard in our art reveal and all that stuff that we pretty much had to rebuild everything from the ground up, and he got us up and running in 2 weeks, and it is not easy. It is a complex system, and I'm really happy that we were able to jump back into it, continue the adventure, start a new season at the level of quality that we look for. And so, we will see you next Sunday after Dungeons and Donations for the next episode of Season 4 of The Lands of Alaire. Catch you then, guys.